Welcome to the Atomic Impact Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Osborn. And on this podcast, we interview successful business owners for them to share atomic, impactful lessons that they've learned throughout the course of their business, share them with us so that we can all learn together. As always, this show is sponsored by the LinkedIn Reverse Podcast Method, the new way established businesses are creating a reliable acquisition channel of conversations with their ideal prospects. We use this method to book 26 qualified leads and sales calls in 10 days without any ad spend, outreach, endless social media posting, or any of those old, ineffective traditional marketing methods that everybody hates. To find out more, try to message me on LinkedIn to have a chat. That's Jason A. Osborn. The link to that will be in the show notes below. But on today's show, our special guest is Ray Newland. He's the owner of Just4Sports Group, where he's providing goalkeeping products. So, Ray, welcome to the show today. And I want to start off by asking you a question that I always love to start off with, which is this, and just the feed chat we had before the show started. I'm really curious to your answer on this. If you were somehow able to go back in time to when you started your business, but knowing what you know now, what would you do differently in the first 12 months?
I'd probably reach out for help with more people. I'd probably get mentored, look for a mentor, even though it might have been a bit difficult because I was like the first person to sort of bring out the goalkeeping skills at the time. But I probably wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. Now, obviously, now it's a lot easier because it was 25 years ago when I started and I was having to buy books, etc. But I think like probably the biggest thing that I would do is I would try to find someone and say, hey, can you give me the answers? Obviously, I probably would have had to pay for that, even though at the time I wouldn't have had the money, I'm sure I would have found a way. And I think just doing that one thing, I think it would have helped me. Again, I think it comes without going into too much detail. I think there's a lot of people in the UK are similar to myself, where we come out of school and we're taught in school, that, not to ask, not to ask not to ask for help. If you ask for help, you're a weakling or you're a cheat, etc. I think a lot of people take that unfortunately into their adulthood where they think, well, I can't ask for help because it's been drummed into you as a child, where obviously knowing what I know now, I definitely would have tried to find a mentor.
Yeah, yeah. Having that advice now, what do you do differently in your business when you're wanting to grow or you face challenges? What are some of the key lessons you learned from that aspect of it?
To be honest with you, I mean, with myself, Jason, I'm one of these guys, and I've not changed, and I probably won't. I probably will never change. I'm like, I just throw mud against the wall. So it's like, if there's an issue, if I can't find an issue, I'll either obviously go onto YouTube or Google. Obviously now we've got ChatGTP, or if we've got like friends, I'll ask them if there's something that again I'd come back to a mentor. I'd pay a mentor, to be honest with you. So I don't think I would. I don't think I would change anything that sort of got me the success that I've got. And also as well, I've actually wrote a book. This is not a plug from the book, by the way, guys, because I give them away for free. It's called Next Shot Matters, and this probably will answer your question better, actually, Jason. It's called Next Shot Matters, and as a professional goalkeeper, when you train, and if you drop the ball, a soccer ball, football in training, and obviously when you've been training for 2-3 hours, you're going to drop your fair share of soccer balls because you get tired. Every goalkeeping coach had an amazing saying. They'd say, "Next shot matters." So basically, forget your mistake, just focus on the next shot. And it got that much drilled into me. Whenever I dropped the ball in training, before the coach was even shouting, "Next shot matters," I was up. And then what happened? Then I just put that into my business. I actually wrote a book about it called Next Shot Matters, but it's more of a business book. And basically, what it basically is that now that I'm not playing in goal anymore, if I make a mistake, for example, or things don't go right, it's not like next shot matters now. It's like next action matters. So I'm like, okay, boom, that never worked. Like, what's next? And sometimes people say, people ask me like, Ray, how did you do what you do? And I'm like, I don't know. It was just like made a mistake next, and I don't think I'll ever change from that, Jason. It's just like next shot matters or next action matters. If you make a mistake, just that I don't even think about it. I'm like, okay, that's gone. Next.
Yeah, that's so what a great analogy, and just training for goalkeepers, but taking that into business and life as well. I mean, it's such a great mentality and mindset to have. As you've gone through, actually, I'll ask this question. I usually wait till a little bit longer, but it kind of falls into what you're talking about here. one of the things that I found, and I'm sure you found this as well, as business owners, it can be very lonely space. It can be we're going to face challenges and obstacles, and oftentimes we can very much feel alone. We're the
Yeah.
only one that's gone through this. No one else is dealing with this issue. What's wrong with me? And we go into that cycle. So I like to ask this question because I like to normalize, like we all have challenges. Let's just talk about them. The more we talk about them, the more we can all learn together. So having said that, it's the next action matters. What's the number one biggest challenge that you faced in your business so far? And what's the lesson that you learned from that?
Yeah, well, going back to what you were saying there, Jason, about being lonely as an entrepreneur, it's unbelievably lonely. I mean, even like when you go to like the local pub or the restaurant and you try and have a conversation with anyone or anyone, as entrepreneurs, it's very difficult to get on that level with 99% of, or maybe 95% of people, etc. So to answer your question about how do I deal with the loneliness, first of all, I go to the gym, still go to the gym, and obviously just get on the bike, and that's where most of my thoughts come as well. Also, as well, obviously, I know you can join like networking, but what I'm actually, again, this is not to plug my next business I'm actually about to launch. I've just launched something, I'm about to launch something called Sports Brand Builders. And the idea for that was actually what you just said, to be honest with you, Jason. It's like, because it is lonely, I was actually looking for like to join like specific networks for sports entrepreneurs, and there's nothing about.
Mm,
So I think, okay, well, I'll create it. So I'm going to create it's more or less ready to be launched. And then within that, I'm going to teach people how to start their own 6 or 7 figure sports business as well. So, but I originally done that out of that, like, well, who can I speak to in my niche? So that's what I do. That's the biggest lesson I'm going to be learning from, obviously feeling like the loneliness, etc. And the other one as well is not to trust. I know this sounds terrible. Is be very careful who you trust. So whenever I've things have gone badly in my business, it's always because I've trusted, unfortunately, the wrong people, because I wear my heart on my sleeve. And because when I deal with anybody in business, because I've not got a hidden agenda, I made the mistake of thinking everyone was thought the same way as me. And sadly,
yeah.
those people out there that, unfortunately, they're always after the quick buck, etc. So the biggest thing I've learned, and I said, and this is coming from someone who is a people person. I said, do generally want to like and trust people, but just be careful who you trust, guys. I mean, like, really do your due diligence with them. And if you are going to go into a business with someone, make sure that there's an agreement in place. Don't make the mistakes I'm making. Thinking, oh, we get on fantastic. It's a handshake. And that's where I made the biggest mistake. Just trust. Just
Yeah.
make sure you cover your backside. Even if it's a family member, just have some type of agreement in place just that you can go back to and say, hey, listen, this is what we agreed on, and just having that, which it'll probably never come out. Just, you probably heard people say this, Jason, get that agreement, put it in the drawer, and it'll probably never come out again, because, if you pick the right one. But yeah, definitely my
Mhm.
biggest one is like, I just need to not trust people as much, which I'm like that now. I'm always, okay, right, what's the worst thing can happen? And I make sure that I cover my backside.
Yeah. And I think you've just answered the next question I want to ask around that topic. But I'm very much the same way. I've always kind of worn my heart on my sleeve. I just assume everybody's in it to help people out. And I've just been burned. I think that the people that take can kind of sniff that out as well. And they're like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of that person. And so I've had to learn a lot more to not trust as quickly. But what are some of the key things that you've done to put those, we'll say, checkpoints in place to see, okay, is this person actually trustworthy? Because obviously, I think it's a good thing to trust, and I think more and more people like you would be great.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have those checkpoints. What have you done to just check yourself, check the process? I know you talked about putting an agreement in place, but even before you get to the agreement, what do you do to help in that process for anyone else that might be feeling the same way?
Yeah, I mean, maybe this might not help your audience, what I'm about to say next, Jason, but I got to the realization where I didn't want to. I don't employ anybody now, just my wife and my 2 daughters. So I actually now use technology and put systems in place rather than employing people. Just because, like I say, it's got to the point. I'm like, who can you trust? So So I'm not sure if that's, like I said, want to help your audience, but I just made a conscious decision, like, that's it, I'm done. I'm happy making X amount of money. Because at one time, Jason, and there's a lot of people like this, and if you asked me that, if you would have asked me this question a few years ago, I wouldn't been able to answer you. Because my wife always used to say, Ray, when's enough enough? Because if you're earning, let's say, 100,000 a year, you go, right now, I want to earn 200,000. Now I want to earn 500,000. I want to earn 1 million. And I was like that. And not knowing why I was doing that. So I made a decision, I only need to earn X amount of money to have a good lifestyle and make sure that my wife and my 2 daughters, I'm now, and my granddaughter, got a new baby granddaughter, are taken care of. So that sort of helped as well. I'm not just chasing the paycheck anymore, Jason. I'm just happy. Don't get me wrong, I'm still looking to grow. I always grow, because I'm a man believer, you're either going forwards or you're falling backwards.
I'll ask you kind of what your goals are over the next several years. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so I'm looking to obviously continue doing the goalkeeping gloves, because it's a passion of mine. That more or less runs itself now. The glove side of things, and my 2 daughters run it. So but I'm actually edging towards now more making income through digital products, through apps. I say this sports brand builders I was mentioning as well. That's I believe that can be £1 million a year business all day long. To be honest with you, Jason, it's not that I want to make £1 million, by the way, but I believe it's that good of a a business to do that. And the reason why I'm basically, the only reason why I'm looking to go digital is just the way the world is at the moment. Everything's getting super expensive. Obviously, trying to get the gloves in, having to deal with like import and export, and dealing with warehousing, etc. It's only going to get more expensive and more challenging. And unfortunately, we can't put the price on our goalkeeping gloves, because goalkeepers and mums and dads of goalkeepers, unfortunately, what happens is they see gloves that are from China for like £10-15, but they don't realize they're super cheap, and they can actually do a lot of damage. So
Right.
so obviously, when you're trying to keep your prices as low as possible, but they still expect the materials to be top notch. We don't make a big markup with our goalkeeping products, Jason. But it's a passion. I say, it keeps my wife and my 2 daughters in business, in an income. Sorry. But as I say, yeah, definitely moving towards digital. Like I say, just as a plan. And because I've took my business at its peak, was in 37 countries. I've sold my goalkeeping gloves across over 50 countries now. So I've got a lot of experience as well, and I'd like to share that, because every business that I've done, Jason, it's about helping people. And for me, if I can help people create and start their own sports brand, it's obviously, one, I'm making income from it. 2, obviously, it's that digital income, so it's protecting my glove business. If things do get expensive, at least I can go, well, I can keep doing my glove business because I've got the other income in place. And like I said earlier on as well, I'm getting to speak to people that I want to speak to, sports
awesome.
all from different backgrounds, different sports. So it'd be nice to have a conversation. And I'm going to be doing what you're doing, but as well, literally reaching out and doing the podcast and doing the interviews with them as well. So that's
awesome.
That's what actually I'm working on.
That's cool. Well, Ray, for people to find out a little bit more about what you do and learn, how you might be able to help them, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Probably the easiest way at the moment is just, because this is easy to remember, is J4K. So I've got a website. It's called J4KSports.com. And if they just went there, to be able to obviously go to contact us, and if they just make it for attention for myself, it'll come through to me, to be honest with you. Or if you want to do, if you heard of school, SK, so I've not, again, it's easy to remember. It's school.com/sports. SPORTS, my dodgy accent, and then it's actually free at the moment to join, so they can get in contact with me there if they're interested to obviously build a sports business.
Amazing. Well, I definitely recommend everyone getting in contact with Ray if what he said resonates with you. Ray, thank you so much for being on the show and just sharing your experience and wisdom. I really appreciate it. And as a reminder to everyone listening, this show is sponsored by the LinkedIn Reverse Podcast Method, the new way established businesses are creating a reliable acquisition of channel conversations with their ideal prospects that doesn't rely on any of the old, ineffective traditional marketing methods that everybody hates. To find out more, direct message me on LinkedIn to have a chat. The link to that will be in the show notes below. And until next episode, stay inspired.